running the whole season, the rest of the season in the SMAC, or just here?
Depends how it goes.
One at a time.
I was just curious. I was like, probably should ask that before we went live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of WFO Wednesdays. I'm Mark. That's Mike.
Fun-filled.
Fun-filled. We managed to grab Hayden Grenier. Come on up, and he's from what I'm hearing, the next big thing in the 350 SMAC Tour.
Don't put that on him. He's going to go and finish and keep the car in one piece.
How'd
and
you
get
like
some
it
laps.
when you went out with it?
I love it. I race it. I practiced it one time last season, right before winter time, and gained a good connection with the Whites. And
Is that your car owners?
Yep. Kenny White Sr. is letting me drive his car, and so
that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, give me the progression of. So you started in the mini stock.
So I started in a Wildcat back before pure stocks were a thing. What the pure stocks are now, that's what I started.
Yep.
Raced that 11 races, had a bunch of podiums in that. Back when Zach Lynn was racing, back when a lot of the bigger names that are moved up now. Raced that, went to a mini stock full time at Monadnock in 2019, and then we came back here, raced mini stock full time, and then we went to a street stock.
You won the championship at here or Lee?
Here.
I thought you won the championship in the street stock at Lee.
Street stock in Lee and the championship mini stock here.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then we moved up into a street stock here as well. Street stock here and Claremont. Here and Lee last year. The year before now. Sorry, but
I don't remember yesterday.
It's a lot of years,
2 years
so.
ago. So.
And then we moved into a modified 604 crate mod last year, and we'll be racing it at some point this year as well.
I was just going to ask you, are you going to get the mod out before the season's out at some point?
It's just
so many hours in the day.
You took a hard hit at Lee with that thing last year.
A hard hit at Lee. We sent it down to Troyer, needed a front clip, center section re-straightened.
Oh, boy.
A bunch of bars on the rear end from last year. Just racing stuff, and there's 150 hours in putting one back together, and just time. Time is money, and money is time. So.
Oh yeah, then a SMAC car shows up on your doorstep, and
yeah,
I didn't even know you were driving it. I walked down through practice, and Mike had said, he's like, yeah, there's gonna be a couple SMAC cars here during practice, and I looked, I saw your trailer, and I was like, oh, maybe they get the mod back together. Then I looked around, I was like, there's no mods here.
Yeah.
So I had no idea. Let's get into results from Claremont Motorsports Park from last week. The pure stocks, we had 18 of them. Went 25 laps, took 44 minutes and 20 seconds.
I'm not really thrilled right now with our pure stock class is amazing. Those guys race really, really good. But when we have a pure stock guy totally saturate the racetrack with antifreeze, my head about exploded. Yeah. So pure stock guys, if you're watching, you will not go on the racetrack till every single car is checked for antifreeze this week. We shouldn't have to do that. You guys are all smart enough to know not to run the antifreeze this time of the year. Please, 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 if you have antifreeze in your car, take it out before you show up on Friday.
What did that take, 48 minutes to clean up?
It took a while. We still got the program was still done in a reasonable amount of time, but it would have been way better without a half an hour delay trying to clean up antifreeze for no reason when we all know better than to have the antifreeze in the cars.
All right, so here's just an example. So pure stocks, 25 laps, took 44 minutes and 20 seconds. Super streets went 25 laps, took them 6 minutes and 42 seconds. So do the math.
We don't have the information on the mod race, how long the mod race took.
I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have that. Pure stocks, we had Jimmy Zellman and the 29K bringing it home P1, followed by Colton Hull, Tyler Wheatley, Dave Smith, Gage Dillingham, Carter Conroy, Tim Taff, Ethan Mayette, Nathan Waterman, and Maya Bell.
Yeah, we had
your top 10.
Well, 18 pure stocks.
We had 18
on Friday night.
Facility.
So that's a good night for those guys.
Mini stocks, we had
10. Nine or 10.
8 of them took the green, went 25 laps, took 17 minutes and 41 seconds. Dick Lamont came home P1, followed by Wally Brown, Sean Lantis, David Pratt
Wally
II,
Brown.
Lane Lantis, Brady Lamont, Patrick Cool, and Kyle Templeton.
I'm wondering how long it's been since Wally had been in a race car.
He looked pretty good out there.
Wally is, I'm guessing, I think Wally's like 72,
Really?
73 in
wow.
in that vicinity. And it's had to been a minimum of 10 years since he's been in a car. A minimum of 10. It's probably been longer since he's been in a car. So hats off to him.
That's crazy.
That's
Get
really
right
cool.
in there and go out and have some fun.
That's really cool.
Let's see.
But what happened with Kyle Templeton?
Oh, I wish I would know, but he was running up front, and then
He's got a big hole in his motor.
Is that what it is?
That I did hear. Yeah.
How many motors has he gone through?
Well, he
this point?
turns the things 10,000 RPM.
Didn't you
I
have
don't
a
know
motor
if it's
issue? Didn't you have
10,000,
numerous
but-
motor issues when you were in the
No.
mini stock? I thought you went through a few too.
We built a motor in the beginning, ran 43 races with that
Oh,
motor.
wow.
Won 22 of them. We won a lot. And then unfortunately my cousin Carlos ran the same motor, didn't have the same luck. And that was who went through motors after motor.
Yeah, they
after
got a new one
motor.
though.
Yes, hopefully this one stays together.
Emily said engine went boom.
in Kyle's car. Yeah, I think Kyle sent me a message, said, because he was going to do the parade Saturday morning with Cody, and he sent me a message Saturday night. Yeah, that's not going to work. I got a big hole in the motor. So
Ryan Lawless said race monitor says tour mods took 21 minutes.
for 76 laps.
Not bad at all, right
Not
there.
bad at all.
Ridge Runners, we had 8 of them. They went 20 laps, took 5 minutes and 51 seconds. Carlos Grenier in the one New Hampshire came home P1, followed by Seth Drown, Trevor Young, Ron Burgess Jr., Jake Snide, Brianna Buck. Jimmy Rhodes did not start, and Madison Cousineau did not start as well.
So let me say something about the Ridge Runners. You know, car count seems to be a hot topic this year, and every racetrack that I've been to, other than maybe Devil's Bowl, I mean, our car count's the same as it is everywhere.
Yeah.
But let's look at the Ridge Runner class. We made a decision that we were going to run Ridge Runners on a weekly basis this year to try to build that class. Last year we had 3, right?
Yep.
Every now and then we'd have 4 or 5. So this year we've had 7 or 8 every week. So So the progression is starting to work. We had another new car show up this past week. So
I can tell you what though, the Ridge Runner class, if I had the time, I'd have one.
Yeah.
For sure.
They seem really fun.
Yeah.
And it's just slow enough not slow enough, but like it's one of those divisions where you don't have to spend 40 hours a week on your race car.
That's you said that right, because the late model class, the outlaw class, the modified class, the 350 Super, I mean, all those, if you're racing those cars weekly,
You're spending every night.
It's a second full-time job.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to have 2 or 3 guys that are absolutely dedicated as much as you are yourself to go in that shop and work
Even the super street.
even the super streets. Absolutely.
I mean, especially with a caliper of driver,
Yeah.
even anything in the super street division, you have to be on your A game.
I mean, Carlos takes it off the track, puts it in the trailer, and it doesn't come back out of the trailer to the following week. Right, Super Street.
That will come back to bite him in the ass at some point.
Just playing.
No,
Carlos.
you're not, because
I'm not, but-
because that's what he does.
Yes. Super Streets, we had 11 of them. It took 25 laps, took 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Robert Hagar came home P1, followed by Brandon Gray, Charlie Baldwin, Tim Churchill, Cody Schoolcraft, Robbie Streeter, Aiden White, Joe Tatro, Ryan Farewell, Travis Sykes, and Jason Laffin.
It was good to see Charlie take the ride over from Hudson to race with us on a regular Friday night show.
Yeah, he did pretty
and
good.
Charlie, the guys that come here, I mean, I know from my Granite State time, it's not a racetrack that if you haven't raced here a bunch, that 90% of the guys or 95% of the guys don't pick up right off quick. Charlie's done that. He's raced here 2 or 3 times, and when he's right, he's right. He is as competitive as anybody.
And he managed to keep most of the body panels on it when he traveled out of his home track.
Yeah, he did good.
I always love watching him when he goes south. You always see the posts afterwards. He's like, had lots of fun in the background. The car's got like 90% of the body panels missing off of it. All right, MRS was in house. Matt Kimball came home P1 in the 43, followed by Brian Roby, Jacob Perry, Brett Meservey, Joey Jarvis, Nate Wenzel, Sammy Ramo, Jeremy Zulo, Brad Zahinski, and Donnie Lashua round out your top 10.
That was a good event.
That was.
They put on a really good show. It was great to see the Tour Type mods back. They'll be back another couple times throughout the year. And
I love Kimball, so whenever he gets to finish out front and have a good race like that, I always love to see it. He's a local guy going up and competing with them. I enjoyed having the MRS guy on last week. That was a lot of fun. Willie was cool because it really put into perspective a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Where I didn't really even take into account that he said it's more of the blue-collar tour, and that really made sense. The cars, they put on a great show. I thought the racing was good. I definitely thought for a while that Roby had something for Kimball, and I think he just lost it by the end of the race.
Well, last year there was 2 MRS races here, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
Matt won one and Brian won one.
Won the other, yeah.
Won the other. So, we'll see. We got the next time they're here is Sunday of Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, the fall challenge.
No. Sunday Memorial Labor Day weekend's MDP Motorsports event. It's the races honoring a racer, $7,600 to win with $1,000 to start. Let's see if Brian or Sammy or any of our local guys. Andrew was in a tour type car for the first time, and Brian, when we post the money for those type of events, it's great to see the local guy take. It
was cool to see Brusso out in a tour mod because I saw him register and I didn't know. I was like, is he going to bring out his 604 mod? Because I know before they repaved Monadnock, a lot of those 604 cars did good up against the tour type cars.
This place is different, though. You need all the horsepower here.
I've heard Monadnock is not the same anymore either since the repave.
Right.
Like you need that car.
I'm not. Probably on the clock, the times are very, very similar.
I wish I would.
But they're not. They're not going to race the same. The crate cars will probably be a little better through the corner, but they just get smoked on horsepower.
It was a good race. I'm looking forward to the next one here. So they really showed what they could do here at Claremont again this year. All right, coming up this Friday night.
Well, let's go to the results from Hudson on Sunday.
I do not have them. So they were not in the system because they are the Fun Day events.
But he didn't have the Outlaws weren't in there?
Let me go peek at it right now.
I think I saw Cam won the Outlaw race. I mean, they had nine Outlaws down there, so that's a great way to keep moving that division forward at Hudson. I saw the finish somewhere.
Yeah, I saw the finish too, but then Cam said online something to the effect of like he didn't actually finish there.
Hang on.
All right, according to this, Cam Curtis came in P1, Bobby Melvin 2, Robbie Streeter 3rd, Cameron Houle 4th, John Meany in 5th. And the Crown Vics were not finalized, so I don't have the results for that.
Okay, I'm just looking on Race Monitor.
Yep.
Okay, and then 6th through 9th for the Outlaws was Josh Rule, Mark LaRoche, Steve Bly, and Phil Meany. It doesn't look like Phil started. It looks like he might have had a problem during the heat race or practice. And somebody said Steve had a problem with either the front stretch or the back stretch wall. Yeah, they don't move.
No.
So hopefully he gets that all back together for this week.
All right, I got Andrew Harmon came home P1 in the Crown Vics. Keith Walton 2nd, Trevor Machad in 3rd.
Where did our fearless leader finish?
5th.
And was 5th?
4th in the 5-0.
Good for him.
And I don't have the dwarf cars because they were not finalized, unfortunately. If the info is not finalized, I just don't get it on my end of the system. So
I thought John was going to be on to help us out with this, but I guess he's got some stuff he's doing. So
yep. Let's see if I can find the. Oh, Lawless is right here. I believe the dwarfs ran. Ryan, who won? It's going to take about 10 seconds for him to get it because we got a delay.
Roby was a 10th faster in his tour car there.
For the fastest lap?
Yeah.
All right. That's actually... Roby faded a lot in the end of that race here the other day.
Nah. No, Kimball was just...
Was he just that fast?
Matty was good. Yeah, Matty was good that whole race. Matty was good.
Uncle Mike. All right.
Jimmy, did you hear what I said about the antifreeze? I know it wasn't you, but please,
no dwarf race. Okay.
rattle your competitors in that in that division, and please help us, all you pure stock guys. Make sure you get the antifreeze out.
Yes. All right.
Any division. I mean,
All
not just
divisions,
not just the pure stock. So.
Claremont Motorsports Park this Friday night. We have Smack 350 Super Modifieds are headlining the night, along with the 604 mods, the Outlaw late models. That is the JP Trucking Ridge Runners, the LaValle Building Supply Pure Stocks, and the New England Dwarf Car Series. Let's see, admission is $20. Pits open at 4. Gates at 5:15.
I think I've adjusted that. Yeah, but I think I've adjusted that. I think it's 3 or 3:30.
Okay. All right. And racing starts at 7.
I did get a up-to-date entry list for the Smack 350 Supers. I mean, just find it here real quick. Okay, as of right now, Matt Riley from Manchester, New Hampshire, Craig Heroth, Heroth from Ephrata, New York, George Hellewell from Pelham, Paul Buzzell from Trumbull, Connecticut, Ben Tinker from Gloucester, Maine, Sparky MacGyver from Kingston.
Love that name.
Justin Harris. Justin's going to, as far as I know, he's going to have his dwarf car here as well as his 350.
Yep.
Brad Bab. God damn, I can't even talk. From Wyndham, Maine. And Rusty Poland. You know, if Rusty's watching, Rusty tells me all the time that this is his favorite racetrack.
Really?
Well, no, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a fan with the pro stock here. He's been here a couple times and said, yeah. But he sent me a message the other day. He was going to come with the Super, so maybe we'll get him back with the Granite State Series. PJ, I can't pronounce his last name. Stergios. Sturgis, sure.
Maybe.
From Manchester. Mike Sperling from Rochester. Steve Dupilli from Plastow. Dave Sanborn from Tilton. Billy Hellewell from Litchfield. Scott Watts from Seabrook. And our friend right here, Hayden Grenier from Claremont. And Barry Kingsley from Fulton, New York. And Matt Seavey from Pittsfield, New Hampshire. So that's 19. And they are waiting on confirmation from 3 or 4 more other cars. So it looks like they're going to be about a 20-car field.
Yeah, that's not going to be pretty bad right there.
That's going to be badass.
Oh, I'm just reading comments right here.
Yeah, and then we got the Outlaws coming back this week. They had a great show at Hudson on Sunday. Hopefully they continue with their move forward, and we'll see where we end up. 604 mods.
Yep. New England Dwarf Cars, the Ridge Runners.
Dwarf Cars always put on a good show here.
They really do. They really, really do.
Yeah.
All right. Also on Friday, Lee USA Speedway, we have the 2nd annual Beach Ridge Motor Speedway Night at the Races. Join us for a special tribute at Lee USA Speedway as we celebrate the legacy of Beach Ridge Motor Speedway, a beloved neighboring track that was unfortunately shut down in recent years. The 2nd annual Beach Ridge Motor Speedway Night at the Races will honor the history, drivers, and fans that made Beach Ridge a legendary venue in short track racing. We will change our division names to reflect the iconic titles of Beach Ridge for the night, bringing a unique blend of nostalgia and high-energy racing. They have the Super Streets, the Ridge Runners, the Pro Stocks, the Mighty Trucks, and the Pure Stocks in action that night. So.
And that is round 3 of the Summer 6-Pack Series for the Super Streets.
So, Super Street guys, that is your round 3.
Now, I had a couple, Charlie Baldwin and Matt Sollenhalter. They were blowing my phone up Saturday wanting to know what the points were. I said, Jesus Christ, guys, I just raced last night, and what are we worried about the points for? Then I realized that the next 6-Pack Series race was tomorrow night. So I got the points all done, and right now Corey Fanning is on top with 86 points. Aiden White is second with 84. Chris Rando's third with 80. Charlie Baldwin is 4th with 78. Matt Sollenhalter is 5th with 72. Justin Beecher is 6th with 68. So the top 6 cars are very, very, very tight. So
I'm looking up real quick for Smack and under race results to see if I can find them from last year or recently here.
And Super Street guys, that's a 4-tire race. It's $1,000 to win. Hopefully y'all show up and support it. And Friday night here at Claremont, there's no super streets. We gave them the night off so they all could compete at Lee on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any results. Sorry, guys. Someone is asking what the lap times were. Zellman says he thinks they were around 11 seconds around here. Average for speed. Unfortunately, I don't have that info. I was trying to look it up, but I don't.
They probably didn't have them on Race Monitor. Did we have them on Race Monitor on Friday night? No?
The supers.
No, I don't think we did.
We were Friday night. We were all right around the high 12s, but during the colder season last season, me and Kenny White Sr. right around high 11s.
Yeah.
So it weather dependent. Those things.
If I went upstairs and looked, we have the track record because we did time trials with the 350s, with Bobby's 350s. These cars are a little different because Bobby's are all crate cars. These are a little different, so these cars should be a little faster. But I'm thinking, for some reason in my head, I'm thinking it's like 11.7.
Okay, that backs up what
in my
Zellman
head.
was saying right there. So, and on Sunday we have double or nothing night at Hudson Speedway. Double or Nothing night at Hudson Speedway is an action-packed double points event where every race matters twice as much. Drivers will battle it out for double the rewards, making an intense night of high-speed racing and fierce competition. Don't miss the excitement as every lap could change the standings. It's a night where anything can happen. Pits open at 2 p.m. This is now moving to the summer hours at Hudson. Gates at 3, hot laps at 4, racing starts at 5 p.m. Yeah. We have the Super Streets, the Ridge Runners, 6 shooters, pure stocks, and a 4-cylinder Enduro on tap.
And a week from Sunday, Granite State's back there.
Oh, that's going to be a really good one.
On the 29th, Granite State's back.
Is that the Gate City one?
That's the Gate City.
I like that race. That brought a lot of people a couple years ago when we did that one there. So broadcast schedule for Race Day TV. We will be over at Lee USA Speedway on Friday night, and we'll be at Hudson Speedway on Sunday.
So if you want to see the Smack 350s, your only way to see them will be to be in attendance.
So, I mean, I wish I could be 2 places at once, but it's just...
Hey, we can only do what we can do.
So unfortunately, there's one of me. So, all right, so Hayden, you've been now in a Wildcat. You've been in a mini stock, been in a street stock, super street. You've been in the modified. You've been in the super modified. What's your favorite so far?
Well, it's favorite season or favorite car to run?
Favorite car to run?
Probably a super or a super or a crate mod so far.
So you've only been in the super for a year, you said, right?
Only practices.
Oh, I thought you were meaning the super street. Sorry, my mistake. My mistake.
Mod. And I don't know. With super, it's just, I mean, as a race car driver, as I'm sure everybody understands, is like you're chasing an adrenaline rush, and right now they're piquing the interest of going fast.
So I've always said, and I need your input and your opinion. The farther you move up, whether you go from a street stock to a mod to a pro stock, whatever, as much as you move up, you're the same because you're driving the car on the edge of being out of control.
Any race car I've ever been in is an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, you're on the edge, but I'm assuming when you get in the super with the wing, it plants it, and it's I'm not gonna say it's easy to drive because none of the shit is easy to drive.
No,
but it's easier to drive than your super street.
Yes and no. Say if you go super street and modified, yes, the modified is 100% easier to drive than a super street.
Okay.
When I got into a super, it's a whole different.
What's different?
The dirty air, the clean air from. I mean, a half a groove is the change of what the car feels like. You're going down the backstretch, and I just barely experienced this. I'm sure other people explain it better than I can. But
so this week when you go out for your first heat race and there's 10 or 12 cars in the heat race and you're say starting 6 or 7,
I wish I could be here.
It's going to be it's going to be an eye-opening experience.
Absolutely, and like when you're going down the backstretch and you're they call it dirty air. You're behind somebody, and then you just you duck in say half a groove and the whole car just plants better. The whole car reacts better.
How have the guys? Yeah, I know Scott Watts was here. I think it was Scott. The Watts car was here practicing, and the Hellowells were here practicing when you were here practicing. Are those guys helping you?
Oh, it's probably the most like
tight-knit
group of people. Like I could go to anybody in like anybody I've met in the Super so far. I could go up to the trailer, have a full conversation, look at their car with a microscope. There's nothing anybody's hiding so far.
Yeah.
Like it's not hiding per se, but like it's a very like family like group of people. It's a very close niche group of people, and it's actually cool to see racing from there because like any other division, you walk down the 604 crate mod group, or especially the Super Street group. I mean, they don't talk to each other. It is very.
Everybody thinks there's secrets. There's no fucking secrets.
Excuse
me,
really
there's
secrets.
There's no secrets. Work on your shit.
Yeah,
go
absolutely.
home. Work on your stuff. Don't worry about what the fuck everybody else is doing. Work on your shit, and your race car goes fast.
Yeah, and absolutely, and just learn. If you don't show up, you don't learn. There's nothing gonna beat seat time. And
right.
If you have 3 guys that show up to the track every week with you, say 2 guys that show up at the track every week with you, and you put in the laps, you'll go faster and faster and faster.
I apologize about my language. Sorry.
It is what it is.
We are all race car
Not like
drivers,
anybody who's watching doesn't swear every minute of the day.
So yeah, but I'm the first one that will say, "Hey guys, be careful because there's always a sponsor watching or something like that." I apologize.
So is this where you think you want to explore some more racing time? Is in the Supers? Could you see yourself owning one yourself?
No, we don't race Supers weekly. We need Hayden here.
Well, I'm just curious.
If to see myself long term in a Super, probably not long term, but it's one of those things like say, just as an example, because I see him run a lot of the tour stuff is like John McKennedy.
Yeah,
it's like his fun thing to do. That's what it seems like to me. I don't talk to him personally, but that's what it seems like. Seems like he runs a Super as fun, and then Wayland car or tour car as more of a serious thing.
I get told every single time McKenny's on the track from Skeeter, who works with me, he's like, I taught him how to drive. Oh, and I was like, no, you didn't. He goes, and actually John McKennedy backed it up, said, actually, he did. He taught me how to drive. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't really realize that. So, any chance of getting back out in a lower division car in the future, playing with the Super Streets again or a mini stock?
I don't know about Super Street, but I will say, like watching my cousin Carlos in the Ridge Runners, it's fun. That looks like a very fun division to run.
It is a fun class to watch.
If there was 15 cars out there, it'd be the best show.
I'm pretty sure at Lee,
which
the last time we ran the Ridge Runners, I'm pretty sure Lee had almost 20 of them out there.
They absolutely did.
Even 12 plus cars out there that say, 12 competitive race cars out there racing door to door. That'd be the most fun division to watch, because you have, throwing numbers out there, I don't know exact numbers, you have $10,000 into a race car. There's no other division other than pure stocks so you can have $10,000 into a race car and be competitive. Nothing. There's nothing. Even a mini stock, our mini stock, the year that I was very dominant in that division, we had 30, 40 grand into building it.
Insane.
It's insane. But
to building. It's just that kind of division. It's hard because you have, everything's custom.
Ryan said Lee had 17 Ridge Runners last time out.
I know I came down the staging because I was having problems with the camera on the backstretch. Yeah. And I looked up. I was like, holy crap. I couldn't believe how half of those cars I'd never even seen before. So probably have a nice, good amount of them this week as well. So.
Yeah. And from what I'm not at Lee anywhere near as much as I'd like to be because I'm here all the time. But from what I see, the Ridge Runners and the Crown Vics, where they have 18 or 20 of, they're all Lee cars.
Yes.
They're guys that race at Lee all the time. So that's a huge plus for Ben. They've worked really hard to develop those divisions.
I still really love watching I don't know why. They're slow.
Yeah. We're gonna have Crown Vics here next year. I haven't announced it yet, but we're definitely gonna have Crown Vics here next year, and
they're just fun to watch. I don't know. I like
something
them.
different, especially. I don't know how they're doing. I don't pay attention to it, but even like the van class, that's like just. It's fun, something fun to watch.
The Crown Vics you can buy for a couple $1,000. You can't do anything on. You put a cage in them.
Yeah.
And
Bruno last year was buying them, caging them, and selling them.
That's what
raffling them.
Well, that's what Ben did.
Yeah.
That's what Ben did at Hudson and Lee. And at one time, he had 7 or 8 of them all done. They're all gone. I
think he still owns. I think he still has like 9 of them.
No, he sold over the past 2 or
Did
3
he sell
weeks. He sold a majority of them.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, and he says, "Well, I'm not making. We're not making any money here, but that's it." And like
you're building a division.
Both him and I said the same thing. But the thing is, you're helping build that division. So that's
building a
what
division.
it's all about.
It's like a
for
ridge
sure.
runner. It's just
Yeah.
it's one of those divisions that's like, say somebody wants to go out and buy 3 of them, 3, 4 of them, and then either rent them out. I mean, to rent out a ridge runner, say for $500 a night. I mean, somebody can go race a race car for $500 a night. That's something that somebody that wants to get into racing can afford.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To get their feet wet in the beginning.
It's fun watching the Ridge Runners here because I think Carlos said it in Victory Lane this last week, and he said, he goes, unfortunately for me, Seth is getting stronger and stronger every single week, so I have a harder and harder time getting by him. And you can tell that's a car that they are really putting a lot of work into. And once they get that one completely figured out, it's going to be a rocket ship.
Yeah. Ryan said Ben has 3 left.
3 left.
Out of the 8 or 9 that he had, he's got 3 left.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them out there now at Lee.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what's going to be there this weekend. So, anything else you got to thank, sponsors, all that?
I have a couple people I would like to thank. I haven't written
Your fan
down.
club?
Yeah, I saw that. I'd like to thank like John Burke that owns the Smack Tour, and Dave Helliwell, the director of the Smack Tour, Ken Sr. and Ken Jr. for letting me run their race car. I mean,
is he still racing at all?
No, he's not. Unfortunately, wicked good driver, but just stuff happens.
They had
And
quite a few of them, I think, at one point. They had a modified too. It's
Kenny ran a mod for a while too.
a tour mod, I think.
Yeah, he did.
correct?
Yep.
And Charleston Property Maintenance, my dad especially. I mean, he's the one that everything with the racing flips the bill. I'll be the first one to tell anybody that.
And he works his ass off to be able to do that too.
I mean, me and Phil Goodell, my crew chief nowadays, it's I don't see my dad around the race car very much, which it sucks. But I mean, it's one of those things. It's he's working to fund my racing, our addiction.
He works his ass off.
Yeah, I mean, the guy leaves home at 5:30, and doesn't get home till 8:00. And
oh, jeez.
And it's one of those things. He's stupid busy, and he loves racing. But
how is the modified right now? What condition is it in, readiness wise?
if there was, say, a week of having the time to work on it after work, I could probably be here. Say it was a Monday. If we had time to work on it, it could be here Friday night.
So Andrew Brousseau is has raised a bunch of money to do a memorial race for his dad.
Absolutely.
Which is July 17th is when we do our $5. No, July 19th. I think it's the 19th. 81 laps.
Yep.
It's going to be like 3,000 to win. So that'd be a good goal for you to.
Yeah, and it's not even that we haven't.
It's just hours in the day.
Yeah.
I absolutely get that.
And it's money.
Yep.
It's one of those things that it costs so much money to run. I mean,
anything.
It is. It really is. And what people don't understand is even though we're like a modified, say, it's very expensive to build, but even to show up, it's really no difference from, say, a ridge runner to a modified, unless you want to buy tires every week. But
I mean, I've told everybody for 10 years, or let's not exaggerate, 5 years, you can buy a Super Street, you can buy a late model, you can buy an Outlaw, you can buy a modified for $25,000 to $30,000 turnkey,
and be competitive.
It's the cost of the car is the cost of cars. How much money do you want to spend every week?
Yeah.
If you run a Super Street, you're buying 1 tire a week. You spend $160 on a tire and maintenance.
Yep.
Right, unless you tear it up. Outlaw, you're buying 1 tire a week, so the tire's a little bit more expensive. You know, you're spending probably $400 or $500 a week unless you wreck. Modified, you're buying 2 tires. It's $440 for tires and fuel and everything. You're probably spending $1,000 a week to go to the track.
And that's the thing. And it was from Super Streets up. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm not saying there's people out there that doesn't do it. But without help, without paying for somebody else's pit entry, it's hard to do. It's hard to do.
It's really
I'll be
hard
the first
to
one
do.
to admit, like, I don't know how to set up any race car.
Yeah.
I don't. Mini stocks, yes, I can probably set up mini stock pretty well. But once we get into these modifieds, there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
And to pay for somebody to show up every week, say,
I mean, I go through that with our I keep going back to our Granite State deal. I mean, where we were in 2012 when we started the series to where we are now, the technology. I don't think Granite State guys I can't say that. There's teams that race with us.
yeah,
Maybe not on a regular basis, but on a semi-regular basis, and I'll have full-time help.
yeah.
I mean, those guys are working on the cars 5 days a week, 40, 50, 60 hours a week.
And that's what it takes.
And that's exactly what it takes.
And if you don't have that time, or I mean, for somebody like say my father, say if he wanted to race personally, it'd be cheaper for him to hire a guy
Absolutely.
to work on it
Absolutely.
40 hours a week than for him to work on it 40 hours.
Yeah,
a week.
because he'd be taken away from what's
making him be able to race.
to do it. Yeah, that's 100% truth.
It costs a lot of money to go fast. That's for sure.
So what else?
That's all I have.
This is pretty quiet tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't have a lot of questions.
No,
It's all right.
not a ton. That was getting the information out that we don't sit here and have to come on and talk all night if we'd have nothing to say. That was the whole. Totally get that. Yeah, Harris is the same way. He's trying to run that business, and he's got multiple cars. Thank God he's got half of the fingers that Harmon does to keep that business afloat.
Yeah, I mean, and Hayden said it right. I mean, if you're a business owner and you're taken away, and you're a business owner that does the work, not sit in the office and direct people to do it, right? If you're the one that's out there that's making the money, you cannot take the hours away from your business to work on a race car the number of hours that your competitors are.
Yeah.
You're Hayden's 100% right. You're better off hiring somebody for $20 an hour to go work on your race car.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And it's like we're very lucky with Phil Goodell. I mean, he stepped on last year with the modified, helped out with the modified and everything, and it's just we help him out with like travel,
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
and stuff like that. But we got very lucky. I can't thank him enough for being able to do that for us, because we wouldn't have a race car. Race car would be a bare chassis right now without Phil Goodell for sure.
Yep.
And it's just because like Dad running his business, me trying to focus on either work or I mean anything else.
You're like 12, so you got other things going on.
Newly 21, like it's hectic, but
Yeah.
Harris says, "What's your thoughts on the cornering speed of the Super?"
insane. It's one of those things that you don't get used to. It's just every time you dive it in, it's different.
Do you keep thinking you can go in harder and harder
100%,
and harder?
And that's the thing.
Have you gone in deep enough where you've spun it out so you know, okay, I've crossed the line?
I haven't looped a Super yet. That's funny you say that, because that's always been my thing. That Hayden Scott actually, back when I started running Wildcats, it beat in my head. If you haven't looped it, you haven't pushed it to its limits yet. And it's funny because it's one of those things that if you drive that thing in deep enough to spin it out, you're more of a man than I am, because it's one of those things.
Because you're driving in deep as hell as it is, anyways. Probably way deeper than your mod.
Oh, 100%. Like in the Modify, I'm lifting probably a car stretch before the exit.
Yeah.
This thing, I'm driving it past the exit. It's just one of those things where to trust something as much as you do, you have to trust a Super.
Right.
Because you don't.
And you haven't driven it enough to trust it yet.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
and that's one of those things. It's like you drive it in, you have to tell yourself that you're trusting it. Because if you don't, you screw up.
Yeah.
In my instincts, like you enter too low and
Steering in full throttle.
it's one of those things. It's
What is your
very
biggest
weird.
takeaway from jumping in that car for the first time? What did you expect, and what did you actually get?
The first time, say I drove the 3 car, which was a 604 Super, a little bit slower than what we're running now, like straightaway speed probably, but it's one of those things. It's a whole different experience. You're weighing, say, 1,900, 2,000 pounds most, probably 600 horse. It's one of the 500 horse or so, and it's just one of those things. It's
Justin says steer it in full throttle, and the wing will take care of it.
It really is. It's hard to explain to anybody the feeling of turning under full throttle, because
Your
talks-
brain and foot don't think that way.
No, and,
Yeah.
and thinking as fast as a super is reacting is
Yeah.
you just can't react as fast as that mechanical thing.
Tanella Hansen wants to know if you'll ever try an enduro.
My honest opinion, absolutely not.
I'd never do an enduro unless I had all the safety equipment in the car
absolutely.
with a cage and a seat and belts.
Every enduro is just as fast as a pure stock.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It really is.
It-
And to me, is
The only way it's not is
because there's a lot of them.
A lot of carnage on the track you have to avoid.
if you have like at Claremont, if we have 50 cars, that's the number I shoot for because that controls the speed.
Absolutely.
If you have 20, those cars are too goddamn fast for what is required
for a normal car seat and a seatbelt.
Yeah, it's
To me,
really
it's
hard.
not safe. It's not. Now, you say, like Mike was saying, you have 50 cars out there. It's one of those things. Or a snow enduro. I would try one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not very fast. They're pretty fun. But I've seen enduros take massive hits.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to be in one of those with a normal
Right.
seatbelt.
If I
just
remember
don't.
right, there was a guy at Star that took a massive hit and went to the hospital and was out of work for
Oh,
a couple months at
yeah.
that big enduro that they do there a couple
And
years ago.
If I'm out of work,
Bob Williams, you're not fast. You haven't raced yet this year, so you can tell yourself you're fast in your mind, but until you get on the racetrack, yeah, you're just fast.
I don't
in
even
your
know what
own
he's going to
mind.
race. He's mentioned a million different cars.
He's been telling
and-
he's building this tricked out metric frame car. He's going to kick everybody's ass in the super streets, and
You going to bring
you
it here,
know.
Bob, or my mouth? Self-aware, at least.
yeah.
All right. Question I had about it with the wing. Do you feel it when it moves in
Yeah.
the car? Do you feel the difference?
So everybody can see it sit down and stand up. When it sits down, I can't quite feel it. But when you say you let off or when it stands back up, the whole car gets like it's a weird feeling. It kind of gets unstable for a second and then it just plants itself in the turn and
So
then
when
you're-
it picks up, it gets light. The
Yeah.
car gets light.
because like when it picks up, the rear end moves as well. I don't know exactly what it does yet, but I'll
Learning
figure
all
it out.
this.
Yeah.
But wing goes up and the rear end moves as well because the whole like ride height changes with the wing. The wing controls like the rear end height, not the rear end height, but body height. So it's all connected together in a weird way that
I don't understand it. I've seen them.
I don't either, and I run one. I drive one. One's in my garage right now, and I just still it's
Wing squatting lifts the chassis.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when it goes back up, the chassis sits down.
That's interesting.
So before we get off on something different, let's give a plug to our sister racetracks that are racing on Saturday. Monadnock has their open tour type modified
Yep.
event, which is I think it's $5,000 to win. So that's a great event. If you're in the area on a Saturday night, check that out. If you're in the Rutland, Vermont, northern part of the state, Devil's Bowl has a 358 dirt modified show on Saturday night. Bear Ridge Speedway races on Saturday night. Our friends at Star Speedway race on Saturday night. Just go support your local
Yes.
racetrack. Just, you know.
Racing can't survive without fans, so make sure you make it out to one or multiple.
Oh, yeah, you know.
I try to hit as many tracks as I can every single week. That's all that I have. Let's see. What's the fastest you've pushed for speed? I don't think you really know that, do you?
What are
Probably
they?
super.
The super.
I bet
What
you
are they
just-
hitting down the backstretch? Probably 110.
Yeah,
120?
probably 110.
That's insane to
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Average speed probably around 90.
yeah, probably.
What do the super streets run around here at?
I have
Roughly?
no idea.
They're probably hitting
Probably 80,
85,
probably
90
80
down
at
the
the,
backstretch.
at the end of the
That's still
straightaway,
insane as
around
well.
the backstretch, you know. But then you take that same car to Thompson, and you're going 130 into the corner.
Yeah, supers are going 170. So
Yeah,
Really?
170, 180.
good.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good.
The big blocks, not the
Yeah, not
not the
these, but
350s. The
I'm
big
good.
blocks. Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah.
All right, well, that does it for us tonight. We have Claremont Motorsports Park on Friday, along with Lee USA Speedway. Sunday, we have Hudson Speedway, Summer Six-Pack Series, race number 3. All you super streets, get on out there. The points are fairly close.
And if you're up in the Bangor, Maine area on Saturday, you've got the Granite State Pro Stock Series along with Nelcar and Street Stocks and everything going on at Speedway 95 on Saturday.
You had a busy weekend.
Got a busy weekend, then we're right back here all next week getting ready for our fireworks show the following week. So
Excellent. Race Day TV will be at Hudson on Sunday, and we'll be at Lee USA Speedway on Friday night. And Alan's photography says he's excited for it all. So great photographer, does great work as well. We'll see you guys.
Send us messages. Do you like the show the way we're doing it? What do you like? What do you don't like? What can we do better? What do you want to see? Just let us know.
I enjoy this one. I like talking racing as much as we do. But if you guys want to see different stuff, let us know, and we can definitely include some new stuff. I think we're going to have a Pure Stock driver has reached out to me, wants to come on the show next week. So I think we'll probably get him on the show.
Who's that, Jimmy?
Zellman wants to
Jimmy
come on.
Zellman, you're on the show next week, so make it happen, brother.
He said as long as he can, as long as he's coming up for practice, he's going to come on the show. He's coming up for practice. He actually texted me the other day. He's like, can I come on the show today? I was like, actually, Mike just told me that Hayden's coming on the show. Sorry. So Bob says the show's better with Bob. Weird.
Bob, opposite. You are more than welcome to take the drive up to Claremont, New Hampshire on a Wednesday night, and you are more than welcome to come on the show.
Yeah, I could probably remote you right in, too.
And anybody, listen, it's not a Claremont Motorsports Park show. I can't stress that enough. Anybody from Lee or Hudson that wants to be involved, just reach out, and we'll make it happen, whether it's virtually or whatever we do. So
absolutely. All right, guys, go support your local short tracks, and we'll see you right here next Wednesday night as well. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you all.